Let's not pretend like color doesn't play a part in class mobility. Let's not play.
It totally does.
Yeah. Let's not do
so
that.
Does accountability and what those what those colors have been taught to teach the next generation.
They don't want us to do that.
If I want to play ignorant, explain that sentence for me about how color is related to class mobility. Just connect the dots.
Because color relates to class mobility because we can't pretend as if white people they don't have a head start. I'm not trying to say that they're physically superior. I'm not trying to say that they're physically inferior. I'm trying to say we can't pretend that they didn't have a head start.
Okay.
And in this society, if your skin is light, and I don't want to sound Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, then it's right. So you're easier.
I mean, I can't. I don't like being called black, and I don't like people being called white. Like, for me, it's all in finger quotes from now on because people are color. The other thing is, all my Facebook is always filled with this article, that was racist, that was racist, that was racist. And I'm like, oh my God, are we done? Like, everything's fucking racist, everyone's fucking racist. You're not black, that person's not white, like, people are not colors. Like, we are people from places. The conversation so many times just puts boxes around, and it's like, well, you can't like that, or you can't do that, or you should do this, and you should be that. But it's like, at some point, you don't have to be angry anymore. Like, if it's doing this to you, put it down. Put it down.
Right, but you're also talking about a society, a culture of people, because blackness might not just be blackness isn't, it's a social construct of color, but blackness, I think blackness is also a culture. There's a black culture, period. I believe in
just like there's a white culture.
Just like there's a white culture, there is an Indian culture, black is a culture, you know what I mean? And I believe that within the black culture, there are certain things that are people of our culture have been taught. Like you're saying, like, no, you don't always have to be that victim, like, oh, this happened to black people hundreds of years ago, and it's formed oppressions. But just if you can understand the connections between the past oppressions and how we were taught to internalize them, that's the first step in recognizing it. Like, if you're not even willing to recognize that there are connections and that you have internalized some things, you can't necessarily get over those things, because you have to give something a name before it has any power, and that way you can take that power away, right? So then the way we move forward is by having conversations that breaks that down, and understanding in the work that we do every day, or the way that we choose to interact with each other, and saying, like, for example, I choose to not listen to artists like 2 Chainz. Right. I choose to not listen to trap music, not because I don't think there isn't room for it, or because it's not valid, or it doesn't deserve to be expressed, but because it does not express what I think black people. It doesn't express what I am about. So I will not promote that music, but I'll dance to it if it comes on, because it is dope. That beat is dope.
Okay, hold up, that shit is addictive. I gotta get this off my chest. I'm sorry, I gotta get this off my chest, because there's not a lot of subjects that you can talk about, and I really take to heart. I can have a brain conversation with you about anything. Right. As far as coming from the heart, I'm a proud black man.
Okay.
Always have been, always will be. And I spoke on this somewhat earlier about black people loving to be the victim. We as a culture, and whoever can hear this is gonna probably take a lot of this the wrong way, and I could give half a fuck about it. But what I'm saying is, we as a people love to be the victim and love to play the hurt role, but for no reason. I was on Facebook literally an hour ago, looking on Facebook, talking about there's a picture of quadruplets that graduated high school together this weekend, and a picture of an 18-year-old lawyer, and it's a banner saying, why isn't this on the news? Nigga, I don't remember my high school graduation on the news. Nigga, why should it be on the news? Because they're black? Oh yeah, because it's black. They should be on the news. Wait, let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
Let me finish. And then I hear so many people about being oppressed and this, that, and the third. Nigga, please, let's put that behind us, because none of you niggas have ever been slaves. None of you have ever gone through civil rights. None of you niggas have ever been indentured servants or on a boat, and you live in a slave mentality.
God, go ahead. I love when people say that shit. You never went through slavery. You never went through this. Let's kind of recognize the chronological sequence in which we're in. It's just because I didn't recognize slavery don't mean I don't know anything about racism.
Right.
Just because I wasn't in shackles don't mean I don't know anything about racism. Racism has actually become way more institutionalized than you would ever know. It's an animal that has so much stealth that you wouldn't even recognize it when you see it. It causes you. You're like, oh what? Oh shit, that's racist. And you only notice when it's racist when it moves. And you can't see that and be like, yeah, it's a free market. Do you? You can't do you, because as soon as you start doing you too much, you will see that shit start to
break away from these systems, these constructs that are told to you what beauty is. People tell you what beauty is. People tell you what success is. People tell you what life is supposed to be. As artists right now, independent artists, I've never been happier in my whole fucking life. I have a day job that supports me and I make art the rest of the time. And my art is appreciated by people I do and don't know. I couldn't be happier. But
hold up. There's also a thing that if you are an artist in 2014, you can't think you just rap. You better learn how to merchandise something. You better learn how to license something.
Right. Survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. Take that talent you have and take it into all these different media forms and get it out. So I think you can, if you want, give away a free album, but you better sell some t-shirts now to those million people that know your stuff. You better get on a television show where you get a standardized, every week I get a check. You know, there are ways, if you want to approach music as an art, then don't expect money. If you're going to do what he did, where you're investing money, you're not in the art world anymore. You are in a business world, and you should approach it as such. But people get confused, and that's why I like telling people, if you want to be an artist, stop worrying about money, because you're going to fuck it up. Do your art well. If you want to make money, be the best artist you can, but realize how people make money in that industry.
Balance.
The message of all art is you can change your surrounding, like just get in the zone. And I feel like that's always the underlying message of like all art, or at least art I try to create.